This podcast is part of the Batman Universe Podcast Network, hosted by the BatmanUniverse.net. Check out everything related to Batman and the entire Bat family at the BatmanUniverse.net, including news and original content related to comics, movies, television, merchandise, video games, and more. Also, check out some of the other unique podcasts that TBU has to offer. Consider supporting this podcast by becoming a patron on Patreon. Even $1 can go a long way in supporting this content that you enjoy. Look for a link over at the BatmanUniverse.net to offer your support now. And now, on with the show.
Scarecrows frightened of a clown that's laughing, boys. I am a Bat-Fan. I am a Bat-Fan. Shine that signal, come out to play. I am a Bat-Fan. I am a Bat-Fan. Bring it on, Batman. Jump out your cave, 'cause I am a Bat-Fan. I am a Bat-Fan. Shine that signal, come out and play.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 225 of At Tim G311. My name is Tim, and joining me, as always, is Dane. Dane, how's it going? I know we missed our normally scheduled recording, so this is a bit of a delayed episode. Sorry about that, everyone who's still listening. But life kind of got in the way in our schedules to record 2 weeks ago. But we're trying to squeeze in another one today, so glad to be back recording. So, Dane, how's it going?
It's going good, you know. We got a bunch of new video games announced. Star Wars Visions is coming or is out now. Let's see what else, Tim.
We got the latest issue of TMNT: The Last Ronin, which we know from by the time we got the last issue, it was a long wait, but boy, is it worth it, which we'll get into in a bit. But
Okay, good. Yeah, that was my big question. Like, since these issues are so far apart, is it worth it? You know,
yeah,
is it worth the wait? And apparently it is. So
yeah, I know you haven't read it yet, so for this one, I'm going to keep it spoiler free for the most part, because I know you and me love this issue, and I hate to spoil it for you if you haven't read it yet. But also, Dane, happy belated Batman Day, which was last week.
Oh yeah,
which
I forgot about that.
I'm glad it looks like now. I think we kind of got a set, not like an exact date, but I think for the last couple of years, it's been on like the third or second week of September, like the Saturday of September now, which hopefully can kind of get in a consistent annual time for Batman Days in September. Because I know it's kind of all over the place when they first started this thing, but the last couple of years it's been September, which is nice. So got a couple of not huge things or announcements dropped, but of course some of the big teases we got were for the Batman from Matt Reeves and Michael Giacchino. I don't know if you saw both of those, but Matt Reeves just sent just a little photo, I guess, in the editing room to wish everyone a happy Batman Day, and you could see on their monitors a new shot of Robert Pattinson's Batman holding up the bat grapple gun ready to fire, and it wasn't a close-up clear shot, but still seeing that looked awesome. Just getting be more excited to see more of it, which we will at DC Fandom just in a couple of weeks, which is cool. But also too was Michael Giacchino showing about 30 seconds to a minute clip of the orchestra as he's scoring the movie, playing the new theme that we got a glimpse of in that very first teaser that revealed the suit. But it sounds really cool. It's a new theme that everyone's, I think, excited for. It had a great reaction on social media. Just hearing it myself, this sounds like it's going to be a cool new Batman theme that sounds different from what we've heard before from Danny Elfman and Hans Zimmer. But sounds like it's gonna fit this version of Batman and the tone of the movie. So that was cool to get, just some short, small little teases for the Batman on Batman Day. So I don't know if you had a chance to check those out, Dane, but if anything, just check out the little piece of the score, because it sounds really cool.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Michael Giacchino, because he did such a great job with Rogue One, or at least I think he did.
Oh yeah, he did great. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I always appreciate about his Rogue One score, just how fast he did it too, because he kind of got brought on board last minute. And
really?
He was able to turn out the score that good. Yeah.
Oh,
because
who was supposed to be doing it?
I don't remember his name, but it's someone that Gareth Edwards worked with on the first Godzilla movie. So I forget exactly the reason why, if he had to drop out, but I think it definitely worked out for the best because I agree with you. Rogue One has a great score. I think I remember Michael Giacchino kind of in an interview about it. He said something funny, but probably was accurate, where saying how I don't know how I'm going to do this like in a short amount of time. But like he said, his brother says, "What are you talking about? You've been preparing to score a Star Wars movie your entire life. Like you're going to do great." And it turned out to be true because it has a lot of great themes in Rogue One, especially during the end sequence in the Battle of Scarif. There's a lot of great themes that play out there. Then you got Jin's theme. That's really great. So yeah.
the Jeddah theme.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Yeah, I gotta hear that. I only saw the picture, Matt Reeves' picture.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like how long does it take to edit a movie? It must take a really long time, right?
Yeah,
Because,
I think if you're
because this movie isn't coming out till what, late 2022?
no, actually early 2022 should be March.
Early. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, it sucks to think about that. We would just be a couple of weeks away from it right now if the pandemic didn't hit and everything got delayed. It's supposed to be October 2021.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess it's a good thing we're not a Top Gun fan or
That's true.
a James Bond fan. I mean, those movies have been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed.
Yeah, I think Top Gun is probably the one I think that's seen the most delays because now it's not coming out till next summer. It was supposed to originally come out in 2020, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. I like the original Top Gun, but man, to have it be delayed that much.
Yeah. No, I didn't know you liked the original Top Gun.
Yeah, I always liked it. I've seen it when I was a young kid, but I haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be one of those movies where there's going to be certain things that you just gotta have to roll with and have fun with, but it'll still be a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. Going to space. What else? Oh, the fact that Maverick is still at it at his age.
Well, I don't know. Tom Cruise is doing some crazy stunts at his age, so it maybe makes sense that Maverick is too.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, are they? Because if I'm remembering correctly, in the first Top Gun, they're just doing practices, right?
Yeah, for the majority of the movie, but I think like the final action sequence at the end, they're fighting real pilots, if I remember right. But I believe that's the case.
Oh, okay. I wonder how they're gonna fit this into the new one. Like, is it gonna be like a war, or are we just practicing again?
I think if I remember the description, it's supposed to deal with like drone pilots and ships and all that. But
yeah, really?
I think that's going to be the plot of it. Which I remember that movie that came out like 16 years ago. Stealth was, I think it was Jamie Foxx was in it. It had to deal with the same thing with drone pilots and all that. It just made me think, didn't they really do a storyline like that for this type of movie?
Oh, so it's going to be kind of a thing where it's like, we have this new technology called drones, right?
Something like that.
Not so new. And then, but like, there's always going to be a need for Mavericks, I guess.
Yeah, like our human pilots, yeah. Yeah, I hope there's a little more to it than that, because that just sounds so generic.
Yeah, the guy from that Fantastic Four remake, isn't it? Yeah, Miles Teller, I think his name is.
Okay, is he? I wasn't aware. I just know Tom Cruise is back, and I believe too they got Val Kilmer to be a part of it.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, in a small way. Because I'm curious to see how that's going to be. Because obviously we know Val Kilmer's health isn't good anymore, unfortunately. But I don't know when they were filming if it was as bad as it was now, or if it was something that he was still able to do while he was sick. But that's cool. They still got to use him though, even if it is in a small cameo or something. It's good that they were able to get him back for that.
What about Goose? Are they gonna
bring him back from the dead?
Or like his kid.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I wonder if they're gonna do something where like his kid's a new pilot now. Maybe Maverick's mentoring him.
Yeah. Oh,
I guess we'll find out in the summer of 2022.
yeah. I can't believe they're waiting that long. I don't know why they just don't release it on like HBO Max or whatever.
I know, because I get it, because so many big movies have seen the release on digital as well for theaters, but it's like, yeah, I know Top Gun was a popular movie, but is it really going to be that big to have to keep it for theaters for this long? It's almost, or I could see on the other hand where they're thinking, well, we waited this long to do a sequel for it. What's another 2 years or so? The people who are going to see it back in 2020, who are big Top Gun fans, are still going to see it when it comes out in 2022.
Maybe it's that Tom Cruise appeal. Maybe like, if the pandemic has sort of died down by summer 2022,
Mm,
people will go to the theater to see anything Tom Cruise,
yeah,
right?
yeah. The next
Yeah.
Mission Impossible should be out. I know it's definitely 2022, but I don't know if it's early summer or late 2022 for the next Mission Impossible. So it should be a big year for Tom Cruise in 2022.
Yeah, I forgot about that Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I just like a few months ago, I just did a rewatch of, well, I shouldn't say rewatch because a lot of the movies I'd never seen before, but I did watch the entire series all the way through. And they're really good. Like I just felt I've been
Yeah.
missing out on that franchise like for the last 10 years or so. I mean, the first two are definitely movies of their time, especially the second one in the very early 2000s and the first one in 96. But the first one still holds up pretty good. The second one, like, didn't really quite feel like the rest of the movies, but once Mission Impossible 3 hit and the ones that followed afterwards, that's where I think it just got really consistently. All the movies were good. So the third one is my favorite, the one by JJ, which kind of reignited the whole franchise and continued on from there. But yeah, it's to a point now after I see it where, yeah, I'll probably see the next two, because I believe they're filming two of them back to back. I'll probably go see those in the theaters now after how good the last few ones were.
Yeah, I remember liking. I can't remember the name of it. Ghost Protocol. Is
Yeah,
it?
I really like that one a
Yeah,
lot.
that's the one. They're in the Dubai Tower, and then they gotta
Yeah.
try to trick the guy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember liking that one.
Yeah, then the last one too. That had some of the like best action sequences filmed in IMAX. It looked really great. I mean, it's one of
Yeah,
those ones too where on the 4K disc, like the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, where when the IMAX sequences, the screen fills up and it just looks incredible seeing it that way. So that was cool to see too on the last one.
is the last one the one with Henry Cavill?
Yeah, uh-huh. The one
Yeah,
that
they had
started
to
the
like,
whole mustache debacle.
yeah, the mustache. Right, they're like skydiving, right? And then Cavill passes out.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise has to save him.
yeah, that sequence looked great in IMAX, or shot in IMAX. Because I didn't see it in
Yeah,
IMAX theaters, but just on the 4K disc, man, it looks incredible.
yeah,
So yeah, that's
yeah.
our movies to look forward to in 2022 by Tom Cruise. But
And when is that James Bond one coming out?
I think that's
It's
finally
coming
coming
out
out in a
pretty soon,
couple of
right?
weeks in October.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because I saw like a bunch of Daniel Craig promotional stuff. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, so that movie's coming out pretty soon.
finally.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be another movie series I watch for the first time, because I've never seen the Daniel Craig Bond films, and I've heard they're really good. But
Yeah, I like him. Except for that second one that he did, which
that's what I
wasn't
heard.
too good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Quantum of Solace, I think that is.
Yeah, Quantum of Solace. But all the other ones are really good. I really like Casino Royale.
Yeah, I've heard that one's good. 'Cause that's supposed to be kind of like the James Bond origin story, isn't it? Because I know that's the first book written.
Yeah. Yeah, because he doesn't even have his, or in the beginning of the movie, he attains his 00
Oh, okay,
status. Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, that one is really good. And Skyfall, of course, is really good. Um, probably, yeah, probably those two movies are my favorite Bond movies. But again, that's from a person that isn't really a fan or doesn't really know like history of the Bond movies. But yeah,
And to be honest, the only reason where I got in really to see some of the Bond films, mainly the Pierce Brosnan one, was because how much I love GoldenEye on N64. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
played that before I even saw the movie. That made me want to see the movie.
yeah. Like I had zero interest in James Bond whatsoever, but then you played GoldenEye, and then you have to see the movie.
Yeah. I do really like that movie too. I haven't seen a whole ton of James Bond's movies, but that one is my favorite.
I hardly remember it. Is it
Well,
if I'm,
spoiler alert: Sean Bean's in it and he dies.
oh, okay. Yeah, he plays a Russian, right?
I don't know if he's a Russian, but
Oh
he's
no, he plays another agent,
yeah, he's another
right?
008,
Yeah.
006.
Oh, 006. And if I remember correctly, that one begins in the dam level, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, the game follows the progression of the movie's story in environments and locations pretty seamlessly.
yeah, yeah. I really hope they remake GoldenEye.
And that's like that's like one of those gaming wishful things that you want to happen so bad, but it's like seems impossible to get together because of all the different companies that hold the rights or licenses to it. That it just seems so hard to get right because Nintendo tried to do it before, where they remade
Yeah,
it, but they made it with the Daniel Craig Bond, and it just wasn't the same and didn't play the same. And I don't know if you saw, like, it might have been earlier this year, maybe it was last year, but like some footage kind of leaked out of a remake they did have planned for on Xbox Live once Microsoft bought Rare. They were planning a
really.
remake for it, but I think Nintendo put the kibosh on it on the last minute. I think it was almost done, but it would have been on the Xbox 360, so it would have been that period. But
Oh,
it did look like it'd be a nice upgrade for that time of having it be
yeah.
HD and still keeping the look of the original N64 game on there.
If I remember correctly, it's just a rights issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's holding it up
Because you
between
got so many different parties
MGM.
involved. I think Nintendo,
Yeah,
obviously, Microsoft, now that they own Rare, and then I believe MGM, who owns Bond. I believe they're the ones, the studio that has the Bond
yeah.
license. So I think they all got to come together. But you would think, would it be too hard because it'd be such a money maker if they did a full
Right.
blown HD remake of that.
Yeah. It would be really good on the Switch.
Yeah, I don't know if you just saw the Nintendo Direct from a couple of days ago, where they announced they're going to be putting 64 games on the Switch.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and how they're going to have online play for the multiplayer, which is going to be awesome for games like Mario Kart. But at the same time, it's like, oh, imagine playing GoldenEye online. But that was nowhere to be seen in their announcements.
Well, you can certainly imagine it,
Yeah,
but it's not gonna come true, unfortunately, because of rights issues.
yeah. It's like all these games getting remakes, and that's the one that seems like it's almost going to be impossible.
Yeah. Speaking of remakes, what a surprise, Dan. What a surprise. Right?
Knights of the Old Republic.
No, I was talking about that. Of course, Knights of the Republic. You get to see Revan with his lightsaber. The most inconvenient lightsaber, I'd say, because it has those ridges on it. Um, but yeah, he's looking good. That game. I mean, I know it says like on the bottom, this isn't actually game footage.
Yeah, I know, but come on,
But
you know it's going to look amazing.
yeah, it's gonna look good. Hopefully. Um,
I was surprised about the PS5 exclusive for at least the launch window. I mean, because obviously it was a third party game when it originally came out, but I just
yeah.
wonder why Sony really wanted that one to be their exclusive. How much they actually paid for to get that exclusive for a little bit. Because
Well, I mean, it's clear why they did it. I mean, it's Star Wars, right?
yeah, but I was thinking I could definitely understand where Final Fantasy VII remake was exclusive and still is, but I believe that exclusive window is over. It should have just been a year, but it still hasn't come out on Xbox at all. But Final Fantasy and PlayStation, or I should say Final Fantasy VII and PlayStation are kind of synonymous together, where
Yeah.
that was a big system seller. and you can understand why they'd want the exclusive for that. But I don't know, it just seems strange, especially because Sony hasn't really had much exclusives with Star Wars or anything like that. But yeah, definitely glad I got a PS5 for when that comes out, because I know I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, how are we gonna even play this game when we can't even get PS5s, or stores only have PS5s available?" So hopefully by the time it comes out, they'll be available for people to get.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was like, it's going to be a while, right, before this game comes. I mean, for this game to come out,
I think it's
right?
probably going to be 2
This
years
is
from
like,
now.
I think it's going to be three years.
Because my
I
hope
think
is they get it out for the 20th anniversary of the first one in 2023, when the original
Yeah,
came
that's
out.
what
That'd be the perfect, campaign to launch it with, celebrating the 20th anniversary of it.
Yeah, and what I'm hoping they kind of don't do is they release. I hope they release a whole game.
Yes.
After the Final Fantasy VII thing, where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so we're going from here to here, and then you got to wait 7 years for the next one.
Yeah. I know. Still no word on that second part for Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah, you're gonna be waiting, Tim.
I know. Yeah.
It's
See,
Square after all.
I think we talked about this before, but the fact that they released that DLC with Yuffie, yeah, that's cool and fun to get. But at the same time, just like focus your energy on just the next full part of it. Like, but that's, like you said, that's Square.
Yeah, that's Square for you. But yeah, I hope Knights of the Old Republic is one whole complete game. It's the whole complete game.
Mhm. Yeah,
I'm just wondering, like, are they what sort of story aspects are they gonna expand, or what are they gonna add? To the original game.
mhm. Yeah, like how much are they going to keep it the same? Are they going to add anything? My hope is that with this remake, they officially make that story part of canon now, and I'm hearing mixed things about that. Some say, yeah, it looks like they're going to be adding some new stuff to make it part of the canon, and others, like even in the press release, it says like this is a legend story now going to be told in like never before, something like that, where like they're sending mixed signals as far as what this is going to be. But I really hope they do something where it's like, yeah, Revan, Malik, these characters are canon now. I mean, they
Is
technically, I believe they are. At least Revan's been mentioned in some canon stories, but to actually fully get their backstory told in the Star Wars main canon, I think, is what I'm hoping for with this remake too.
is that Old Republic game a canon?
No,
Or
that
is
is
it?
not.
Okay, and then does Revan, or maybe I'm asking the wrong person, but is Revan in that game?
I don't believe so, but maybe they mention
Oh,
him. But again, I've never played the Old Republic online game, but
yeah,
I'm sure he has to get mentioned somehow in there. Unless it
yeah,
takes place
right.
before all that. I'm not sure. No, I think it took place after. Yeah, because of the novels and everything they made that tied into that game.
Oh, I see. So it takes place like 100 years, 300 years
Maybe.
after
I'm not
Revan.
exactly
Yeah,
sure, but
yeah.
that was a good novel though. I remember you sent me the audiobook of that one.
Oh yeah. Uh,
Deception, I
Deceit,
believe it was, right?
Deception.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah. That one was good.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll
You
see
know,
how long it
I almost want to play not Knights of the Old Republic, but the Old Republic, just to see the story, because I'm so
Mhm.
curious about it. Like especially like the stuff with the Jedi, because it seems like they like how close is it related to the prequels? Because it came out in that period between the sequels and uh the prequels and the sequels, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And so like how close is it? I mean, is it just like a one for one transfer of the sequels? I mean, the prequel stuff, or is it like a different sort of thing?
Yeah, well, just based off the trailers, those like cinematic trailers they had for it. I probably mentioned this before, but one of my biggest like knocks on the Old Republic was just how much they were just taking the designs from the prequel era. Like the troopers were basically wearing clone trooper armor. You had bounty hunters that looked exactly like Cad Bane with the hat and like the rocket boots. It's just like, man, be a little more original for a time period that takes place 3,000 years before the Clone Wars, and just having it be like it takes place 20 years before or something like that. It's just, I wish they were a little more original with their designs and looks to have it be set more in the past. That was always a knock I had on that game, but it wasn't too original and just really taking everything, a lot of stuff from the Clone Wars period.
Oh, okay. So it's the Clone Wars that they're kind of taking from them.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that always kind of rubbed me the wrong way about it.
That's why you didn't play it.
And plus the fact that I do not like playing MMOs anymore.
Yeah. They should make a Batman one, like a specific Gotham City one, not like that DC online one.
Yeah, that'd be hard to do. Like, how many heroes can you have running around Gotham like that? That's what having it be the DC universe makes more sense. Where it can go to all those different locations and a bunch of different heroes. But
Yeah.
I think
I guess
that was the last MMO I tried playing. And it was just like, yeah, this type of gameplay just isn't for me.
The last MMO I played was Star Wars Galaxies.
Man, I thought that's
If you
going
can
way
believe
back.
that.
Yeah.
Was it like 2002?
Yeah, I
Four?
think you're right. 2002 or
4?
3.
Yeah, because it came out. I think I said this, but it came out the same exact time as, or around the same time as Knights of the Old Republic, and one of my friends bought Star Wars Galaxies and was trying to convince me to get it rather than Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh.
And I ended up getting Knights of the Old Republic instead of Galaxies because
You chose
it
wisely.
just looked, yeah, it just looked funny. It's sort of like you just start off with a blaster. I'm like, where are the Jedi? You know, where are the stormtroopers and stuff? But then I guess it was sort of like placed in the original trilogy era, so there wouldn't be a lot of Jedi,
Yeah.
and so like I guess you couldn't be a Jedi.
You,
So yeah,
I remember you could, but man, it takes forever. It's like you have to level up your character to the max to be able to be a Jedi.
I see. Yeah,
I remember hearing a lot of complaints about that.
yeah, and like the MMO thing was so new back then to me, anyway.
Mhm.
That I didn't really get like, okay, so like I can play with you and we can go around, but then like if you, I think if you died, you lost levels or something.
Of course, that's
or
how all
XP.
MMOs were back then, and that drove me
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
It was such a big turnoff for me. That's why I really don't like
Or you
them.
lost your progress. Yeah.
Final Fantasy
Like,
11 was the worst at that.
oh,
Bad
really?
memories of spending hours like just leveling up a character once, then you run into a little goblin who is way powerful than you, and all that hours worth for nothing.
Oh, so you would like lose a level, so you'd be like,
Yep.
I'm level 50, now I'm level 48.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I never even got that high.
Oh wow, you gave up that fast.
Yeah. You know what franchise would make for a great MMO gaming
Sure.
experience? I think would be Green Lantern. I mean, you got the core that spans the galaxy, and just
Right.
create your character who's a Green Lantern Corps member, and you just travel the galaxy doing these different missions. It would just make sense interacting with all these different players who are part of the Green Lantern Corps. It's perfect. If they did that, that might entice me to maybe go back to trying it out. If the gameplay is like, I think they are now. They've moved on from that whole dying and losing your levels and all that nonsense. So maybe I would attempt to get back into it if they did a Green Lantern one.
Or an Amazon one where like you're on Mascara, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can like make your different Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, the Green Lantern one is really cool. Like you could just make any character. You can make him look like an elephant.
Mm-hmm. There was an elephant kind of character who was part of the Blue Lantern Corps.
Yeah, of course. Or you can make like a hippopotamus or a giraffe.
Well, Kilowog's kind of a hippopotamus style, I would think.
course.
Of course, you got the cat Dexstar, who's the Red Lantern Corps. Then there was the dog character, Nort, I believe, who was part of the Green Lantern Corps. So they got a lot of animals covered. Of course, the most popular one of all, Chip, the squirrel.
I mean, you would think that Star Wars would have made the perfect MMO, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean,
like,
I hear The Old Republic is really good.
yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's lasted this long. And I know when it first came out, it got a pretty good reaction to it. So it's been going strong with getting new updates for the past almost 10 years now. I think it's been out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like I have not paid any attention to that game, and I feel bad because it's like a Star Wars thing that I haven't
Well,
played.
you're not alone. That's always been on the back burner for me. Like I'd see if they come out with a new cinematic trailer for an expansion or something, I might check it out, but I never
Yeah.
really follow it too closely either.
If it came out for PS5, I'd play it. But
Yeah, it
I
never
just
came
don't
out to
have
consoles.
Yeah, I just don't have a gaming PC.
Mm.
So
But moving into a segue to our Lord of the Rings minute by minute commentary,
yeah.
I actually heard
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings MMO was really good. My brother played that one. He said that was kind of
Really,
the best one of the best MMOs he's played.
they have a Lord of the Rings MMO.
Yep. I forget when it exactly came out. I think it was in the mid 2010s, like early 2010, 2011, something like that.
Let me check this baby out. Lord of the Rings MMO.
Forget exactly what it was. It might just be Lord of the Rings Online, but it's an MMO.
Oh yeah, online. Okay, online. Oh, it looks nice. See, like some city. Oh, Gandalf's in it.
Yeah, see, I don't remember exactly where like it takes place in the timeline. If you run into the characters, but if you said Gandalf's in it, then yeah.
Can you still play Lord of the Rings online? Is Lord of the Rings Online still active in 2021?
That's not one of the questions that asked when you bring it up
Yeah.
on Google.
Yeah.
So when did it come out?
2007. Wow.
Oh, okay, man, that old. Okay, so I
14
thought it was a
years.
little later than that.
15 years ago.
Huh.
14 years. Yeah.
Wow,
Let's
there you
see. Lord of the Rings in 2021. Let's take a look.
go. Is it still active?
Oh, there's like an elf guy going around. You see some gameplay.
I wonder how it compares to the other fantasy online games like EverQuest and Elder Scrolls and even Final Fantasy 11 and 14. But Lord of the Rings is another franchise I would think make for a good MMO.
I don't know. It doesn't look that inspiring. I'm just looking at it right now.
Well, it is. Well, if it's from 2007, it's got to look a bit dated.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's a pass for me.
Yeah, but I heard it was good according to my brother. But
Yeah. Is there like magicians or magic users in that game?
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I'm sure you got wizards.
Because I
And
know
elves.
like that was the thing about Lord of the Rings is there's not a lot of people that can use magic, right?
That's true. Yeah, because really not a lot of. There's only a handful of wizards.
Right.
That is a good point. Yes. But we won't be doing a minute by minute commentary on the MMO on one story, unless you want to start that after this.
I was just about to say, like, I've never heard of this game before. It's weird. It's been out for ever.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that old. But we can go ahead and visit a Middle Earth in the cinematic realm with the Fellowship of the Ring minute by minute commentary. And we're going to be going from minutes 14 to 15 on this one. So as always, grab your VHS copy, your Betamax copy, your Laserdisc, your DVD copy, your HD DVD copy, your projector copy, your Blockbuster membership card to go rent it, your Netflix physical copy of the disc from your mailbox, your I'm forgetting, not the main one, but the one before DVHS. What am I forgetting?
Laserdisc?
I got Laserdisc.
Oh, you did? HD DVD?
Got that one.
Mm.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, that's it. So DVHS was the VHS HD copy that you mentioned a while ago. I forgot about that one. I was
Yeah.
getting that mixed up with the converted PC copy. Okay. So your DVHS copy, and then not our favorite, but close, but also grab your converted VHS to DVD copy that you can do on your PC. So we got that all straightened away, all those copies that, and we're going to go from minute 14 to 15. So Dane, I will go ahead and give the countdown. In 3, 2, 1, play. As Gandalf getting his first reference to the Hobbit with Smaug, as he's telling Frodo about the dragon. I always love that.
Disturber of the Peace.
Yeah, I love that aloof look Gandalf gives when Frodo tells him that right there. And that Hobbit gives him the stink eye. The Shire, so beautiful to look at.
Is that like on your bucket list, Tim, to go to New Zealand?
I would love to, yes.
See the
Yeah, I don't much like to travel, let alone travel to like other countries or part of the world. But if I were to go anywhere, New Zealand would be on top of the list.
Well, I guess you don't really need a sort of land in Disneyland, right? Like you just
Yeah.
got to go to New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly. So like Galaxy's Edge got me covered for Star Wars, but there's nothing
Yeah.
that I don't think compared to visiting a spot to make you feel like you're in Middle Earth, quite like in New Zealand where they filmed it, and they still got like the Hobbit building still up there, the Hobbit homes, I should say, still up there.
Oh, really? You can go and visit and go inside.
Yeah, it's like a tourist attraction there now. I've seen
Oh, thanks.
people take photos over there, and it just looks so awesome. I don't think you can go inside though, because that would be awesome to like see the actual inside of the Hobbit hole.
Well, I guess it's just like here and Jurassic World, right? Or Lost. Like, I know a lot
That's
of people
true.
do the Lost thing.
I mean, all for like to get the Jurassic Park experience, all you need to do is drive by like these big plants and trees with gates surrounded by it. I guess if they still let those up.
Now, technically, all you have to do is go to my parents' house because I mean that's essentially where they filmed it. Or if you want to see, I forget the character's name, but Chris Pratt's house.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Just go to my sister's house.
Okay.
It's like 10 minutes away. That house is like 10 minutes away from my sister's house.
Did they shoot the third one in there? I don't know if they did, because I know they shot it kind of all over the place this time, since it's technically not on the island anymore.
Yeah.
If they would need to film in Hawaii, so
I don't even know. Yeah. Because I know for sure they filmed the first two Jurassic World movies here.
yeah.
Because, like I said, especially for like that first one where there are those scenes at Chris Pratt's house. Because I remember going to my sister's house and there's people just lining the road, just waiting for him to like finish filming or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I remember I didn't know what it was at the time.
Yeah.
Why are there people on the side of the road? At first, I thought Obama was back because I remember when Obama was president, he would come here. People would line the streets near where he was staying and like hold up signs and stuff. So I thought Obama was back, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know like people still did this." But yeah, I guess it was Jurassic World.
All for Chris Pratt.
Yeah, it's all for Chris Pratt.
Yep. Well, you probably heard Chris Pratt just landed his biggest role ever in an upcoming movie.
Oh, right. Yeah, playing Mario.
Yeah. Not the choice I was expecting, that's for sure, for an animated Mario movie. But yeah, the cast announcement for that was like took everyone by surprise. But so everyone's complaining about it already. It's like, seriously, come on, it's an animated Mario movie. And if anything, it just makes me more interested to see what type of movie this is going to be with the voices they got for that, especially with Chris Pratt as Mario. I think I didn't see him. I think he put out like a video, kind of like not announcing it, but showing his, I guess, first not take, but he's given his first reaction, I guess, to everyone once the announcement was made, and how he says he's going to be like, he's not. Don't worry, everyone. I'm not using just my normal voice. I will be doing a voice for Mario for that. I think everyone just expects the Chris Pratt voice to be coming out of Mario now, but
Yeah.
I guess he will be throwing in that Italian flair to it once he. I don't know if they voiced it already, if they're done, if they're going to, but it comes out next holiday. So you got a Sonic movie and a Mario movie coming out in the same year. How crazy is that?
That's cool. So were there people like sort of like, how come you just didn't get the guy from the game?
Yeah, exactly. And he actually,
Oh,
they
that's
did.
what
He was
people
part of the
say.
announcement too. He will be doing some voices, but I'm not sure
Yeah.
what. See,
Oh, I see.
I have no idea what the story's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be something where we're going to see the main Mario world and games, which will maybe be voiced by the original character. But I kind of hope they don't do this, because it's been done to death with these type of animated movies where the Mario characters get taken out of the world and taken somewhere else, or the real world, and maybe that's where Chris Pratt's voice comes in or something like that. I hope they don't do that route, because that's a Mario movie should just take place in the Mario world and the Mushroom Kingdom and all that. Because Sonic did that, and I know there's probably some other movies where they're taken to the real world. It's like a trope that's been done to death with these type of animated movies. So just keep Mario in his own Mushroom Kingdom world. But I could see them doing something like that, where we first see the original Mario and is voiced by the original Mario voice actor, but then something happens and Chris Pratt ends up taking over as the voice, and all the other characters with their Hollywood actors taking over their voices as well for their respected roles.
The original Mario movie, the live action one with Bob Hoskins, that was the one movie my parents said no to when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
I think they thought it was too violent or whatever, or like
Too
scary.
violent.
Scary.
Wow, but in the end, they made the right decision.
Yeah. I guess I should be thanking you right now, because what I hear, I still haven't seen it. Yeah.
I did see it in the theater.
I
I
hear it's not
remember.
that good.
No.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And
But
when you were a kid, Tim, did you like it?
yeah, I remember enjoying it. Yeah.
It's just as an adult, it's like, oh, that movie sucks.
I haven't even really gone back to revisit it since then, but yeah, obviously it doesn't have the best reputation, but believe it or not, it does kind of have a cult following for fans of that movie, and they've done so where they even got kind of like a director's cut version of it to kind of come
Really?
out. Yeah,
A Snyder Cut?
pretty much. I don't know the director's name, but yeah, there is a Mario Brothers director's cut.
Wow. Hold on. I'm gonna stop this podcast dead. I gotta look this up real quick, because I can't believe that for a movie like that. Let's
Oh
see,
yeah, it's there. Yeah.
what is it called? Is
I
it
mean,
just called Super Mario? Oh, Super Mario Brothers. There we go.
yeah. I mean, there's someone I follow on Twitter, Ryan Haas. He's a
Yeah.
fellow Batman podcaster, but he's someone who's a diehard fan of the Mario Brothers movie too, and he helped spearhead to get that director's cut out there. So
Really?
it's awesome that they were able, the fans of the movie were able to get this done. But I just didn't know there was that many, I guess, deleted scenes or footage that you can take from and maybe get cleaned up to incorporate it as part of the director's cut. But they're able to do it. I mean, that's awesome.
I like how his name is Mario.
Yeah.
And Luigi's name is Luigi Mario. I forgot Dennis Hopper was in this movie.
Oh yeah, he was Bowser, or just Koopa. Yeah.
Koopa, yeah. Oh, I guess if you, the extended cut. Members of the Super Mario release unofficial restoration of the extended cut of Super Mario Brothers. The Morton Jenkel cut. is what it's called.
Okay, I guess he was the director.
Yeah, but there was no involvement from either directors. I
Oh
guess there's
yeah, I
two.
believe it was
Yeah,
all from the fans.
yeah, Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel. Yeah. Oh, I guess you learn something new every day, Tim.
See,
I did not know.
now what I want to happen, kind of like this for the Mario Brothers, is for the first Ninja Turtles movie because I've seen some of the deleted scenes they have on that, and I would love a director's cut for that where there's just more. Because some of the scenes look really cool. If we could get an extended cut of that, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, trust. I like this line right here. The phrase "trust the fungus" from the film has been compared to "May the Force be with you"
Yeah, I
from
can't say I'm
Star
too
Wars.
familiar with that quote, but it makes sense for that to
Uh,
be the one for the Mario Brothers movie.
of course, everybody knows "May the Force be with you," and everybody knows "trust the fungus."
Let's get that trending. Trust the fungus.
Hey, you know what I didn't know? Uh, is that remember like a few years back, it was a big deal that they were releasing a dub of um, A New Hope. I think it was in the Navajo language.
Okay, yeah, I kind of vaguely remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I I, I read something that said the phrase "May the Force be with you." The in the Navajo language, they already had a a phrase, I guess, or whatever that means that
Uh,
"May the Force be with you." So they would just say that instead of like literally translating it.
interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder how similar it actually is, or if it's different but yet invokes the same that
yeah.
effect that May the
It's
Force
sort
be
of,
with you would have.
if I remember correctly, it's something like "May the gods be with you" or something.
Okay. Hmm.
So something like that, but it has the same meaning, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess speaking of Star Wars in different cultures and languages, wanted to talk a little bit about the latest entry into. See, I can't even say the main Star Wars canon or anything, but just Star Wars content we got with Star Wars Visions that just hit this week on Disney Plus. So I've seen all 9 shorts. There's 9 of them, ranging from about 13 minutes to 22 minutes. Um, and Dane, I know you saw the first 3, so won't go into full
Yes, I did.
spoilers on the rest, but just kind of give our basic reactions for the ones that I saw and what I really enjoyed, and what you thought of the first 3, Dane. But I guess just first, how did you feel about the whole concept of Star Wars going into the anime realm? 'Cause I don't think we talked about that too much when the trailers were first coming out.
Yeah. I You know what? I'll start off by saying one of the funniest things I saw on Twitter was somebody took a picture, a screenshot of somebody else's tweet
Uh,
that said, you know, Star Wars doesn't work in a Japanese setting. I don't know why they're doing this. Like, okay,
how ignorant can you
do,
be?
do you do you, do you not see the Jedi?
Yeah.
How they're holding their swords? I mean, their lightsabers. Sorry, not their sword, not their katana, Tim.
Yeah.
Their lightsabers. Okay,
Well, now with Star Wars Visions, you can say katana sabers or
yeah,
lightsaber
katana.
katana.
Um, but
And
yeah,
like,
I thought. No, go ahead.
no, I'm just gonna say real quick. Have you not heard of the movies that George Lucas was inspired by to make Star Wars? The Kurosawa films. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was about to say. So you don't know who Kurosawa was? um, yeah, I thought it was interesting. I I know you. I don't think you've seen it, but there was that Batman Ninja anime.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of expose myself as a bad Batman fan where I have yet to see that movie. I have it, but it's just one of those things that got lost in the shuffle. I definitely still gotta check that out.
The story isn't very good, but the visuals is what it
Yeah.
really comes through, especially towards the end when Batman is fighting Joker.
Mhm.
Yeah, like, I don't want to spoil what happens, but just
I
think
know
of
things get pretty
Transformers.
crazy in that final
Think
battle.
of Transformers. Yeah,
Yeah.
just think of Transformers. That's all you have to think
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing stuff like that.
about. Yeah. So I thought it would be interesting from a visual standpoint. Maybe the stories aren't very good because it seems like that's the case with anime in general. Is that the stories aren't very good, but the visuals are amazing.
I guess
And
it all depends on the animes that you enjoy.
yeah,
But
I mean, I
some you can
guess
get really
like
into the stories.
yeah. So yeah, I was excited about it, and just based on the visuals alone, and it didn't disappoint me. I really liked that first episode with the Ronin,
Yeah. Visually,
and
that's amazing.
yeah, that Sith with the umbrella lightsaber.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to call it. I guess umbrella saber.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, just from the visual standpoint and the astromech unit with the straw hat on
I
it.
love that look. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. And like you said, of course, the katana lightsaber, which is like, do you need a sheath for that?
You don't, but man, it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks so cool. Just from a visual standpoint, it looks so cool. Um, yeah, there's kind of no story to it. It's just Sith show up, a Sith shows up and tries to bully a town to getting what they want. The Ronin is there. It's your typical samurai, Japanese samurai story, right? And
Mhm.
it works to great effect. Like no real story. Let's just have these two people fight, and yeah, just the black and white with the red lightsabers. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the second one. Uh,
Really?
yeah, I did with the band.
uh,
Uh, I think that's the one that people don't like, right, Tim?
I've
But
heard.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's got a mixed reaction. I was expecting kind of everyone to not really enjoy it, but I
Yeah,
know some people who have, and I will say that's probably one of my least favorites of all the shorts. But at the same time, I appreciate just how out there they went with the concept and just being so different from everything else. So I appreciate it on that front. But it's just one of the anime styles that wasn't for me. But I
yeah,
did love seeing Boba Fett there and having Timmy Morrison still voice him. I was all in for
yeah,
that.
yeah. As I call him, the baby Boba Fett,
Baby Boba,
because
yeah.
he has like short arms and short legs in that anime style.
See, my favorite
Um,
shot of that episode is just Boba Fett nodding his head to the beat of the
yeah,
song the band was playing at the end.
yeah, but I really liked it. Especially with like the little turn where it's like a hut that doesn't really want to be a part of the hut family.
Mm.
Um, I thought that was pretty interesting because you don't see that in the movies
Yeah.
or
I
the
did I did like
series.
the idea of the main singer being a Jedi Padawan who kind of escaped
Yeah,
Order 66 and this is what he went to. Like to me that
yeah,
was a pretty cool concept.
yeah. That also I really like that.
And using his lightsaber hilt for a mic. I never
Yeah,
thought I wouldn't even think about that in the Star Wars universe, but there it is and it was kind of cool to see.
so yeah, I like that one. The third one is the one I didn't like.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just thought it was like okay. I thought the concept of the Sith dark side armor was pretty cool, where it like fuses to your body.
Hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool, but just the whole twin thing, and it's like okay, so they're gonna fight, and then the twins are nobody's gonna die, and that's the end of the story, sort of thing. And it's like I don't know that one was the one miss for me so far, and I've only watched the first three, so
Okay.
Yeah, I overall really enjoy it. It's sort of like it's kind of what you want from Star Wars. I know a lot of people just want the original trilogy, or they want the prequels, or whatever, right? Or they want the Clone Wars. But I think expanding it to, let's have some Japanese animators take a shot at it and
Hmm.
see what they come up with is the more important part, and is the part that I really appreciate, because I want to see what people from around the world, take their culture or their
Yeah.
Asian style, and see what comes out. So for me, that's the more interesting part. And like I said, I love the first two. So yeah, I mean that's the main point, is that, or what really interested me more so than, okay, so it has to be, between
Hmm.
Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It has to be that specific period, because there's so much that we can tell with that, and it has to look like an American style of animation, or it has to look like you know the original trilogy, or it has to look like the prequels. Let's open it up a little bit more, and let's see what the Japanese come up with, right? So that's the main thing, and that's why I appreciate it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's was also was so refreshing about it for me too. We're just like sitting back and watching and not worrying about, is this going to make sense in the timeline? Where does this fit in the
Right,
canon? Oh wait, they can't do that because
right.
that contradicts this or that. It's just no, sit back and watch some Star Wars stories told from a different perspective and culture. And even though certain ones go out there with some of the abilities, especially in that third one, the twins that you're talking about, the stuff they do with the lightsabers or just the fight on the Star Destroyers, it was crazy, but at the same time, I just enjoyed it for what it was doing there too. But yeah, I totally agree that that's the main point, just seeing Star Wars stories told like never before. And I will say, Dane, if you like those first two and that you saw, there's some more great ones on the way from you. My personal favorite is the fifth one called The Ninth Jedi. Everything about that works so well, from its story to the animation to the lightsaber fights we get in there. There's a cool twist in that episode too. And that's kind of one where it just made me think, man, I want to. There's a few of these shorts where I'd love to see the stories continue with these characters, but this is the main one. It's like, we got to see more of this. Like these characters, the story. And it's one where it doesn't even really make it clear where it takes place in the timeline. I think it could be somewhere set way in the future, and that was pretty exciting. So I'm curious to hear what you think of the one called The Ninth Jedi, because that was my personal favorite. I absolutely loved that one. And
Yeah.
then you get
Is there a cool lightsaber thing, like the lightsaber umbrella?
not really, but the lightsabers do
Uh,
something pretty cool that I've never seen before, and
okay.
I really like the idea of it. I don't
Yeah.
know how far you want me to say about it, but
No, don't say anything. Don't
okay.
say anything. I will watch it.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, definitely that was the highlight for me. And then you get more some that's kind of more in the lighthearted tone. The one TOB1, which is pretty much the Star Wars version of Astro Boy and Mega Man, kind of mixed into one, or the little robot who wishes to be a Jedi. That's actually kind of a charming episode that you see unfold. So that one was another. That was one where it's like, this might be like my least favorite going into it, but that one surprised me as far as enjoying it to the level I did, and just being, like I said, like a real charming story. And then The Elder, that was another one where it kind of starts off kind of slow, but by the time you get to the end of it, where you reach the lightsaber duel that happens between these characters, it's really cool. The sound on it is awesome. This is one where I think the lightsabers had their best sound, where it sounded like it had the same lightsaber sound effects from the Phantom Menace, which is the best a lightsaber has ever sounded. So a cool duel between the characters in that one. And then another one I really liked was the eighth one called Lop and Ocho. This is the one that has the character who's like a bunny, and she's kind of been featured in a lot of the promos. But that one had a really good story at its core, but about family and the Empire kind of coming between the family. But at the same time, it was one where I felt, man, they're kind of cramming a lot into 20 minutes. That if this was actually its own Star Wars like longer story or a series, it'd probably be more impactful for what happens. But the foundation's laid for a cool Star Wars story to be told in that one. And this is one where I felt kind of embraced the Japanese culture a lot in this short, kind of like the first one did too, with in the duel, but in a different way, and mixing in the Jedi with that too. So I think you'll definitely like that one too. That was one of my favorites. And then the last one, this one, I hate to be end on a negative note, but this was definitely my least favorite. Akari, I believe it's called, or Akakari. I'm probably butchering the name, but I wasn't a big fan of the animation style in it. The story felt very similar, to, especially what happens at the end, to what we've seen go down with Anakin. I just didn't get invested in it at all. So that was the biggest miss for me. Whereas Tatooine Rhapsody wasn't my favorite either, but I kind of appreciate what they did, doing something really different there. The last one, just nothing about it really worked for me at all. From its animation style, its characters and story, just felt like a retread of what we saw with Anakin, just done in a much less compelling way. So that would be the one. I'm not going to say don't watch it, because I think you should watch them all, but that was the one that kind of ended. It felt like when I watched them all in a row when they first premiered, it just like, man, that kind of ended on a whimper, like kind of a bad note to end it on. But it doesn't take away from the overall experience of watching all these shorts. So in the end, it was kind of what I expected. There was going to be some that I loved more than others, some that weren't going to be my thing, and that's totally okay, because when you got 9 of these shorts, not all of them are going to click when they're being done in different styles. But I think Star Wars Visions just was a big success from a creative standpoint, and bringing Star Wars into the anime realm, and just how well I think it works in that genre too. So I definitely hope this isn't the last we're going to get of Star Wars Visions. I think it's a hit so far with fans. I've seen a lot of positive reactions to it. Of course, there are going to be the negative naysayers out there, but I definitely see more positive than negative about it, which is cool, because there's a lot of stuff to love about Star Wars Visions. So yeah, I think it's definitely a hit, and glad that Lucasfilm took, I don't want to say took a chance, but just went in a different direction with telling this type of Star Wars stories. Because as we were talking about, as that ignorant tweet you saw, much to probably his chagrin, Star Wars and Japanese culture and filmmaking, I mean, that's part of Star Wars' DNA. So to kind of have it be told in this Japanese type of art form in anime, I just kind of felt like a no-brainer to happen at some point, and I'm glad we did get it. And there's a lot of good stories to be told in Star Wars Vision. So yeah, I think it was really, really well done overall.
Some of the merch looks really cool, by the way.
So which one?
Some of the merch.
Oh, I need to look at some of the merch. I haven't seen too much of it, or haven't actively looked at it. So, but now that I've seen it, there are some maybe some T-shirts of the character designs that I'm gonna want to get.
Yeah, there's a black one with red lettering. Yeah, that looks cool.
So yeah, I definitely check out Star Wars Visions. Dane, I think you're in for some. There's gonna be some more stories in there, or shorts, that you're gonna really enjoy if you like the first two.
Yeah, and so like, Star Wars Visions, are they gonna, like, every couple years or whatever? Is the plan to, like, take it to different countries?
No,
Or
not
is it just
really.
gonna
I mean,
oh,
as far as I know, Star Wars Visions is going to be an anime. I mean, they haven't even said anything about doing more or a second season, but
yeah,
I kind of like to think they will now, after how successful this one appears to be. So I just think it's going to be something that's going to be an anime focused Star Wars series.
I see. That's cool.
Yeah, I definitely hope we get more now after seeing this. So
Hey, I want to see more of the Ronin.
yeah, they're doing a book on that character. That's the only short they've announced that's going to continue in another medium. So there is going to be a book based on the Ronin. And
okay.
like I said, there's definitely more stories that I hope we get more of, especially that what I was talking about, the Ninth Jedi.
Yeah. Did you like the one with the twins?
I did. No, it's funny. That was my most anticipated one to see, because I loved the concept of it. And when I saw it, it was good, but I didn't felt the dub was the best, because when I first watched it, I watched all of the English dub, and that one felt very, because sometimes in anime, especially in English dubs, where the vocal performance could be a little overacted and over the top, but I felt this one did with its two main characters, where just the voice acting I felt didn't match what was kind of being conveyed by the characters. So that was it took it down a little bit for me. But when I watched it in Japanese, that actually elevated it further, where the voice acting wasn't distracting, where the Japanese voice actors matched that anime style that was being invoked in the visuals, and it helped sell the story a lot better to me and what I was originally hoping for when I read the concept for the twins. So I actually really enjoyed that one. That's one of my favorites. I love the crazy battle they had. Yeah, it's over the top, but that's what is part I was expecting for some of these shorts. So, and I did like the concept of two twins being created for the dark side, and their armor looked really awesome too. So I did really enjoy that one, but definitely more so when you watch it in Japanese.
I see.
Are you watching them with the English dub or in the Japanese?
The English dub, yeah. But the sort of, yeah, it doesn't really bother me. With the voice acting and everything, because I am not an anime fan whatsoever. I haven't really watched a lot of anime. Here in Hawaii, we do have a Japanese channel.
Okay.
They play like Japanese news and TV shows. Some of the weirdest TV shows, especially like if you watch the. This is so off topic, but whatever. But you watch the. It's sort of like Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives. That Guy Fieri show.
Okay.
But the Japanese version of that, and it's so funny and so bizarre. So yeah, that's all I'll say about it, because I don't want to maybe I'm misinterpreting something, but it's really fun to watch. Like, they make it so fun. But the reason why I bring it up is because a lot of the anime that I have seen has been in Japanese from that channel. It's called Kiku, or Kiku. And like Pokemon, the first time I ever saw Pokemon was in Japanese, and I didn't even know they were making an English version. Kikaida, it's a live action sort of Power Rangers sort of show.
Okay.
I didn't see that. Yeah, I didn't see that until, I saw that in the original Japanese and not the English remake or whatever. Guyver, another anime that I didn't know they made an English dub for it, because I had only seen it in Japanese. So yeah, the dubs don't really matter to me, because I sort of, in a way, grew up with the Japanese sort of dub of it, and then watching some of the American, or the English dub anime, it sort of didn't really bother me either way. So, and I know it's that sort of exaggerated sort of kind of like yelling. But it comes off as overacting. So yeah, that doesn't really bother me. So yeah, I'm just watching it in English.
Yeah, I don't mind English dubs either. I mean, some are really horrible, especially in early anime dubs, but for the most part, they're good. But that one on the twins kind of stood out to me, where it took me out of it a little bit.
Are you an anime purist, Tim?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Definitely not. I mean, I wouldn't even call myself a diehard anime fan. I like certain anime series. Obviously, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. That's my favorite of them all. I've seen a Gundam series. I did enjoy Naruto when that was first starting. So I do like series, but I wouldn't call myself an anime fan, because I'm sure those are the ones that are kind of enjoyed by a wide audience anyway. So I'm sure anime purists wouldn't even view those. Oh, you're not those are the only shows you like, you're not an anime fan. So.
Oh yeah, that was another one. Was the not Gundam Wing, but the original Gundam?
I love Gundam Wing though. But anyway.
Yeah, I remember watching the original Gundam in Japanese, like not knowing what was going on. Yeah, because there used to be no translation, so
no subtitles or anything.
Yeah, no subtitles, so they would just be talking in Japanese.
Yeah, I watched a few Dragon Ball movies early on, because were so desperate to see new Dragon Ball at that time. We're like, oh, can't find subtitles. We don't care. We're just gonna watch it, try to make sense of the story anyway. But I have done that too.
Yes. Yeah, I've played a. I can't remember which video game. I want to say it was one of the Dragon Age video games. This was like before video games were region locked.
Okay.
There used to be a Japanese import store, so they would import like everything from Japan. Oh, I mean like video games, comics, or manga, statues, toys, swords, and sword. Yeah, it was a store. It was a store called Toys and Joys, and I remember buying.
That's actually a good name.
Yeah, Toys. And I remember buying one of the Dragon Age. I mean, not Dragon Age. What is it called, Tim?
Dragon Warrior?
Not
Dragon Quest?
Final. Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah.
Dragon Quest. Yeah, sorry. Not Dragon Age. That was made by.
Because I was going to say,
BioWare.
Dragon Age is actually from BioWare.
Yeah. Dragon Quest. I'm sorry. And I remember buying. I want to say it was on the Super NES, and like I remember buying it, and it was all in Japanese. And like I understand what I have to do, where I have to go.
Playing an RPG in another language, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, it'd be a great way to learn a language. I guess if you wanted to learn how to write Japanese, I guess you could play Dragon Quest.
I would. How far did you actually get on that?
I did not get that far. You start in that beginning town, and you got to go someplace, but you don't know where to go. So like, yeah,
that's really like a choose your own adventure game because literally you have no idea where to go or what to do.
Yeah, I had no idea where to go. I don't know why I didn't just return it, but yeah.
Did you ever tell your parents that and so like they wasted their money, or you just could pretend like you played it and enjoyed it?
No, if I remember correctly, I saved up my money for it.
Oh, okay. So
Chore money. I bought it, and it was all in Japanese, and I didn't know what was going on, so I just had to take. I just had to bite the bullet on that one.
That's like so. Maybe that's like your Superman 64, but
yeah,
even though the game's actually way better, but at the same time, couldn't get your enjoyment out of it for the money you paid for it.
And come to think about it, going back to Star Wars is, I don't know if you've ever seen the Vader's statues where he's wearing the samurai armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
That's not. Is that a recent thing?
No, they've done those. No, this was kind of they've done in the past before. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say because I remember seeing those statues when I was a kid, like when I was a real little kid, and I don't know if those were officially licensed, but yeah, it's. I remember seeing those things, and I was like, "How come Darth Vader doesn't look like that in the movies? He just looks so cool." It's cooler than Vader. Yeah, Samurai Vader. Yeah.
I'll also say too. Last thing I'll say about Star Wars Vision is that I really liked how they did make everything based off new characters, but at the same time, with how great the visuals looked on some of these shorts, it did make me want to see some familiar characters in this style too, like tell stories with Vader, with Obi-Wan, Luke and Leia, that type of stuff in a different time period. So if we get another Star Wars Vision, I wouldn't mind if they mix it up a bit where it's still new characters, but selling some with familiar Star Wars characters too. Because I think that'd be pretty cool to see also. I mean, because we got Boba Fett in the Tatooine Rhapsody, but if we do one like Darth Vader in the first short, the duel, that would be amazing. Like you said, kind of had Vader in that samurai style armor more so.
Yeah, I want to see an Obi-Wan short when he's on Tatooine.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did see his house in Tatooine Rhapsody when they were playing the song. We didn't see inside, but
Yeah,
we saw the outside of his house.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see an anime samurai version of Obi-Wan after Revenge of the Sith.
Or how about Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon as Master and Apprentice?
Oh,
That would be cool.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Because there is the short, The Elder. It deals with a Master and Apprentice, and it made me
Yeah.
think that would be cool if this was like we're kind of seeing Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan like this.
Yeah, that would be cool. Which makes me wonder about the Obi-Wan show. Like, it takes place after Revenge of the Sith, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are they going to do with it? Is it going to be like a forceless, not using a lightsaber, or Obi-Wan doing stuff around Tatooine?
It's going to be both because there's definitely going to be lightsabers. I mean, we're going to see Anakin fight Darth Vader again. That's kind of going to be the.
I mean, Obi-Wan fight Darth Vader.
Did I say Anakin fight Darth Vader again?
Yeah.
Okay. My mistake on that. We're going to see Obi-Wan fight Darth Vader again. That's what I should have said. That's kind of like the big building, or like when it was first announced, Kathleen Kennedy was even said like, that's going to be like the main event of the series. So there's definitely going to be lightsaber fights, and we might see him fight an Inquisitor or two, maybe. So I think it's going to be kind of a mix of seeing him do stuff on Tatooine, but building to a point where we're going to see him face off against obviously Vader again and maybe some Imperial Inquisitors. But how and why that happens, that's what I'm really anxious to see. How they're going to work all that in. But man, I cannot wait. They're done filming for it. We should be getting our first look at it on that Disney Plus Day special they're going to have about the future Star Wars shows coming. So if they're done filming, they got to have I don't know if we're going to get a full trailer. I don't think so. But we'll probably just get a glimpse or a few shots of what we can expect to see. And man, God, I'm just getting excited just thinking about it. Not just the series, just seeing new footage. Just imagine how excited it's going to be when the series is about to premiere. So, I have extremely high expectations for it, and I'm pretty confident it's going to deliver with everyone that's involved with making this series.
What happened to the Inquisitors?
They've
was that just like a failed project?
Yeah, I think just once they got killed off, they didn't really get replacements for them. So I think once the last one died out, that was it.
I see. So so that was the thing where I was like, okay, so we're gonna try this new program, Tim. It's called the Inquisitor program, and then we're gonna train these guys up. Then we're gonna have they're dead. Okay. Well, that was a failure of a plan. So now we are going to not do that, and we're just gonna sweep things under the rug.
Yeah, but I mean, their purpose was to find any hidden Jedi and try to get rid of them. And plus, most of them were Jedi previously who fell to the dark side and got corrupted. So I guess by the time we get to the original trilogy, and maybe they felt most of the Jedi were wiped out and gone. No need to replace any more Inquisitors to fill those numbers back. But
yeah, I'm just saying something doesn't add up, so that means that the prequels suck.
That's probably the thinking some people have regarding whatever era of Star Wars you're talking about. Sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is our thoughts on Star Wars Visions. I thought it was overall really good. At the same time, there's going to be some you're going to like more than others, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. And Dane, I think you're in store for some more great stuff that I think you're going to enjoy. So keep me posted when you watch them.
I will do that. Also, I saw on your Twitter feed, you saw the Wonder Years remake.
Yeah, I just watched it last night, actually.
Was that really good?
It was really good, yeah.
Okay.
I got to be honest, I didn't know it was going to be taking place in the 60s again. I thought they were going to do a kind of a more contemporary version where it was going to be 20 years ago from now, like early 2000s. But when I saw, they're kind of doing the same as the original Wonder Years, taking place in the 60s. But it ended up, it was a good balance of having a similar feel to the original, especially in the pilot where there were similar story beats that happened. But at the same time, with its new characters, it kind of had carved its own identity already too with these new characters. New characters are great. Don Cheadle as the narrator and the older version of the main character was really good. Had the humor in it too, which was a really important part of the original Wonder Years, worked really well in this one too. It had that same feel to it. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it, and I didn't realize too until watching the episode that the first episode was directed by Fred Savage himself. So that was cool to have him, there doing the first one, and I guess guiding it along the way to making sure it still kind of has that feel of the original. So yeah, one episode in, I think it's off to a really good start.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I was curious about that one.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it, and then the premiere kind of snuck up on me when I saw, it's out already. Like, okay, and then I saw, it's on Hulu. Easily can check it out that way. So
I see.
Yeah, so I'd recommend checking it out.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out because it seems like you really like it. So yeah,
I'll definitely be watching it every episode when it comes out. So,
were you a fan of the original?
Yeah, I really love that series.
Yeah.
It was great. I think it's underrated how funny it is too. I think sometimes it gets remembered as more of like a family drama series taking place with all the stuff that happened in the late 60s. But man, there's some real funny episodes and some funny stuff that happens in there. So, yeah.
The reason I ask is because like I've seen some negative reviews of that show.
Oh, really? The new one?
Yeah, the remake. And it is verging on racism. So
that wouldn't surprise me if that's where most of the negativity is coming from. I mean,
yeah, and like, so like, I'm pretty sure in the year 2021, I think we've come far along enough where if people are complaining because the show has black people in it, I think it's really, really good. I'm just assuming that the show is super good, is super written really well, acted really well, directed really well, obviously, and so I just wanted to confirm that. And it seems like you enjoyed it. So
yeah, everything you just said was exactly what that first episode was. Yeah. So
okay, yeah, and that's gonna be my new rule from now on. If I see a lot of people hating on it because, for whatever reason, if the Star Wars thing, how does this add up to this, and yada yada yada, and blah 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 blah, it's usually a good thing. It's gonna be a good show or a good movie. Or if you're going on, if you're saying like, the show is too woke, or how come there's black people in the show, then that means the show is really good.
Yeah.
So,
sad to say that's like a barometer now that you could probably look at to see if something you're gonna like.
I remember seeing that for Watchmen, believe it or not, and I was like, okay, Watchmen. I'm not alone in thinking that this is a really good show.
Oh yeah, and the people who say that, I was like, did you even read the first Watchmen comic? To think that it's doing something totally different now with this series,
yeah,
in the tone. It cracks me up when I see online people tell when Tom Morello tweets something out politically and he says, stick to music and stay out of politics. Like, have you ever heard of Rage Against the Machine?
Or it's in the name. It's in the name. Rage Against the Machine. That's great.
These people.
like, how could you not make that connection? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, did you not see the cover for their first album?
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, I guess if you didn't see or you don't know the history behind that image, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think
But I mean, it's in the name. It's in the name. Guerrilla Radio.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
GORILLA radio. You know?
They're not playing the Donkey Kong rap from the N64
Yeah.
rap.
Oh, I can't believe people still do that for to Tom Morello.
I like. I think the key word on this episode is ignorance. The ignorance we see from people with their social media reactions.
Yeah. You should do a little research or look at the name of the thing
Before revealing yourself to be an idiot, yes.
or even like Star Wars Visions. It's called Star Wars Visions thing. It's visions of Star Wars. People's visions of Star Wars.
I know.
It's not, yeah. But anyway,
Yeah. What do we? Sometimes you just can't help these people. I'm sorry, it's sad to say.
well, sometimes you just gotta laugh.
Yeah. But one thing I don't think, at least I haven't seen much negativity about, is the latest issue of TMNT, The Last Ronin, as we get into our comic book review for this episode. Now, normally I would say spoiler warning, but since Dane hasn't read it, I'm going to be pretty vague and not spoiling what happens in this issue because I know he's going to read it and he's going to really like it. So got to keep the spoilers to the minimum here, or none at all. But
Yeah.
for a rating scale, Dane, we still got to have that. What do you think it should be?
We just said it, Tim.
I knew it was coming.
People misinterpreting band names, I guess. Or people being ignorant on the internet and not, doing research or whatever.
Yeah, I know it has to be something like that. How can it not be after just talking about it? So,
Can I give my prediction of, because I bought it, it's sitting right there on my phone or on my iPad, and I just want to make a couple predictions, or
okay.
just one prediction. Donnie doesn't die. I don't think he dies.
Okay. Do you want me to confirm or no?
Don't say anything.
Okay.
Don't say anything. Or let me rephrase that. Donnie doesn't die, or Splinter doesn't die in Japan.
Mhm.
That's my big prediction.
Yeah, because I remember when we were reviewing the third issue, we were kind of talking about that. How I think we both were saying how we think they're going to kind of throw us a little twist there in regarding their fate. So
Yeah.
You'll find out when you read it, and I won't say if that is true or not in this review. But but I will say that in regards to that flashback sequence, because that's what's great about the story is how each issue deals with the flashback, telling about the Turtles, what happens to Raphael, Leonardo, and Casey, and this one is going to deal with Splinter and Donatello. And this flashback was my favorite out of the bunch so far. It was just
Wow.
done really well. Seeing the interactions between Splinter and Donatello, and then meeting up with the Hamado clan, in Japan, was all great stuff. And the battle that ensues there was really cool. I mean, Splinter goes all out, which is always awesome to see. And just, everything that happens there was just awesome to read through. So again, we'll go into what happens, but it was a really great sequence. I love that flashback. It's probably my favorite one. So you definitely will look forward to that. And then, but just the stuff that takes place in the current time period with Mikey, that kind of has a little bit of its own flashback in itself. The story, this issue, I should say, doesn't take place or isn't being told in a linear fashion, even in the current time period with Mikey and the Resistance and April and her daughter Casey. But that was one of the cool aspects of the issue that I really loved about it, along with that flashback, is just seeing Michelangelo take on the role of a sensei to April's daughter Casey. And we very rarely, if ever, see Mikey in that role, and just even having Casey call him sensei is just kind of a trip to see. And the way he kind of first trains her, they had their first sparring session in there. It was just really cool to see Mikey in that role like we've never seen him before. So I just love that dynamic that we're seeing already between Michelangelo and Casey in this issue. It's kind of a student and a sensei, which is I thought is working really well in this story. And then we see that takes place in the past, and it kind of cuts in between what's happening in the present, where they're attacking Baxter Stockman's stronghold. They're making their first big attack as a resistance group against Baxter Stockman here. And it's a battle sequence. It's almost like a full-on war for what happens. And this might sound weird, but it might be just a little bit of a criticism where the story of the Last Ronin, obviously it's very heavily samurai influenced, again, kind of similar to Star Wars Vision with Japanese culture.
Tim,
especially,
Tim,
yeah.
Can I stop you and say, I don't think Japanese culture fits in with TMNT.
Oh, well, I don't think you're going to enjoy this issue, Dane. In fact, have you even seen Red Ninja Turtles before?
Hence, Ninja Turtles.
Well, unless you saw it in the UK where they couldn't use the word ninja, you might have been a little confused.
What is it?
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Hero Turtles, right? Oh, man. Hero Turtles.
I mean, technically it's true, but come on. Hero Turtles does not have the same ring as Ninja Turtles.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
So, but yeah, again, don't want this to be a big nitpick, but I just wish, because it's more of a army battle with guns and weaponry, artillery, like that type of battle, where I wished it was a little scaled back to more of like a samurai ninja battle, where it's like katanas and the weapons the Ninja Turtles use. I mean, Mikey's still using them, but I just wish kind of the rest of the group, it was more of that type of battle instead of like a more modern military soldier type battle with like laser guns, machine guns, missiles, and all that type of stuff. I mean, this is a small nitpick, but I just kind of wish it was more in that like samurai Ronin scale when it comes to the battles as well. But again, this is a small nitpick that I have about it, but not taking away from the story. So things, again, without spoiling it, things end to where they're finally going to have that final confrontation between I feel like a bad Ninja Turtle fan. I'm blanking on the descendant of Oroku Saki, the leader of the Foot Clan, his first name. But that final battle is going to be ensuing, obviously, in the final issue next time, and things are set up for that to take place. So, again, another fantastic issue. The artwork is amazing, as always. We get that another flashback sequence that's told from Mikey's perspective, done by Kevin Eastman, which is always a highlight in these issues now. So that mixed in well again, as you throw that in with a great flashback with Donnie and Splinter, the new relationship and bond that's forming between Michelangelo and Casey, which even if this series is done, we'll see when it's over, we'll see what happens to Michelangelo. If he survives, I hope he does, because I want to see more of him as the sensei and take on a student of his own, which I would love to see more stories of that, because the little bit we got in this issue just begs for more. So there is a revelation revealed about April and Casey's daughter, which I don't necessarily know if it was needed or not. We'll see if it plays a role later on in the final issue. But I'll be curious to hear what you think of that too, Dane. But see if it's something that's worth having or not for her character. But we'll see.
It's Hiroto. It is
Hiroto. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Oroku Hiroto.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for that. So yeah, we'll see how all that plays out in the final issue. But another fantastic, solid issue. I can't wait till we get the final issue and I can read all of them back to back as one complete story. I just did that on Batman Day with the 3 Jokers, and you know how much I loved every issue of that. But reading it all together as one story just elevates it even further as an all-time classic Batman story, in my opinion. And I think it's going to be exactly the same with The Last Ronin. I already think it's a TMNT classic, but seeing how this issue ends, or the next issue ends, and I don't have reason to believe that it's not going to end in a satisfying way with how great all the others have been. But I can't wait to read all issues as one story, and I think it's going to elevate it even further. So, yeah, small nitpicks aside for this one, another great issue. I'm going to go ahead and give it 4.5 out of 5 ignorant people we see online reacting to TV shows, musicians, movies for stupid reasons. So I guess that was long enough to cover all that.
Yeah, you got everything.
So yeah, I guess that'll do it for this one. So as always, Dane, I'll throw it to you for the outro.
All right. Just go over to the Batman Universe at thebatmanuniverse.net, Facebook.com/Batman Universe, Twitter handles at Batman Universe, the show's Twitter handles at Bat-Fans Podcast, Tim's Twitter handles at TimG311. I'll say it this one time, Tim.
Well, I think.
My Twitter handles at Bane Says Banana. Rate and review us on iTunes, and if you want to email the show, you can email the show at batfanswithoutfans@gmail.com. So with that, like we say at the end of every single episode,
We love each and every one of you with all of our anime-style hearts.
anime style. Yeah, I like that one. See you guys next time.
See you next time, everybody.